Greetings and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shwa and I'm the host and founder of a podcast called Light Up with Shwa. It's a weekly podcast on conscious living and parenting. If you haven't watched so far, please go and give it a chance. Like the video if you like anything. If you want to write to me, please go to lightupwithshwa.com. You can leave a voice message or leave a comment or any other feedback. The updates are there for the podcast and for the upcoming programs or anything related to LUWS Academy. So today I have a very special guest. She is very accomplished. She lives in Massachusetts and she will introduce herself in detail, but her name is Dr. Saida Nuzhat and she will be addressed like sometimes Dr. Shazia and I will say maybe Shazia depending on what type of stress I want to give. So please welcome Dr. Shazia to Light Up with Shwa podcast. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Shua, for having me. So,
Please introduce yourself, who you are, and what do you do?
my name is Sayyida Shazia Nuzat, and right now, currently, I am a medical director in one of the state hospital in Massachusetts, in a psychiatric hospital, and I'm a psychiatrist by profession.
Okay. So, is your judgment on at this moment that you are, as a psychiatrist, your judgment is always on, or is it ever off also?
No, I try to be open-minded. This
Okay.
is my strive, but in
Okay.
every moment, it's good to be open-minded, curious, interesting, and just pay attention what's going on inside
Okay.
ourselves and also around
Very
us.
good. Very good. Okay. Well, people, she can see you also. You don't have to worry. Only I have to worry here. Just kidding. All right. So, would you like to tell me how long you have been in this profession or like in this career that you have been practicing?
I have been practicing now for 15, 16 years.
Wow, long time. So you must have enough data and
Yes.
practice and all. Okay. I saw your bio and it says I like to cook. What do you like to cook before we get into a serious discussion?
Yeah. So anything, you know,
Do you
uh,
cook Pakistani cooking or do you mix or do
mix.
Mediterranean? Okay.
Mediterranean, here, continental, everything.
Mm.
And it became my hobby. It started as a necessity when
Yeah.
we moved in, but then I soon realized the benefits of it, and I ended up having liking it now.
Okay. Okay.
So I think it really, I like it. It's the creativity involves in the cooking
Mm-hmm.
and having a time to create a healthy meal. And
Mm-hmm.
this is also a time every day for our all of us to get together, to have
Mm-hmm.
some talk among each other, our family members.
Mm-hmm.
And I find there are so many opportunities having this time together,
Mm-hmm.
creating something. Just it's this time is that is most important.
Right. Right. What is your favorite dish? Your favorite dish that you cook?
I cook.
Mm-hmm.
I think
You don't need to be shy. You can say, or maybe okay. Let's begin with this. What does your family like? What you
I
cook?
think
What
we are
which?
more into healthy food now. So
Mm,
anything simple, more with basic ingredients,
hmm. Can you
more.
give an example?
Huh. Like recently, I learned a Mediterranean dish, chickpea and eggplant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's exactly it's called, but that's what
Okay.
I like
Okay.
very
Okay.
much.
So you like simple cooking. So you don't use spices?
I do, but I try to go less on spices now.
Hmm. So,
Hmm.
well, I'll not discuss about that because I have the whole thing because spices are good for you too because if you use
Exactly.
it as a
Yeah.
health benefit.
Hmm.
So, anyways, okay.
But
Um,
want to talk, we can talk.
yeah, we
Because
will.
I do
We will.
learn about,
I know, but I want to know about your psychiatric
Yeah.
experience first, and then we will come to you later when I will ask some challenging and difficult and intrusive and intervening questions to you that you can then you can answer. Okay. Um, so, how did you come to this career? Why did you choose psychiatry?
To be honest with you, I like the part of is sitting down and talking to people.
Oh,
I
okay.
think by nature I love talking to people. I love people.
Mhm,
It
mhm.
was my natural tendency to just sit down and getting to know people. I have been a good listener all my life, you know, so that helped me. And a part of which pushed me towards psychiatrist, I didn't like general medicine,
Mm,
the
mm.
concept of needles, surgery, blood, all
Okay.
that. I did not take it. So
Okay.
when I did my rotation in psychiatry, I felt like this is something. I found something within medicine which
Okay.
I really like, which I love doing.
Okay.
You
So you
know,
do love doing what you do. That's good. That is important, don't you think?
yes, it's very important.
And then you must be very good in it because you like it.
Hmm.
Hmm. So listening is a very important thing that I have learned, especially after doing my podcast, because I do have to listen. If I am talking to my guest, then who is doing the listening, right? So you are my guest. I'm supposed to listen. So I realized that I used to, but not so much. I'm more conscious of it. So you must be, trained in it, right? To
That's
to
the
listen.
best part. If you are a good listener, and
Hmm.
if we listen to understand, not to respond,
Hmm.
not to reply,
Yes.
there are so many things that come in our listening that prevent us from truly understanding or appreciating the true experience of the present moment.
Hmm.
Our judgment, our previous experiences, our speculation, assumption, our instinct, they
Hmm.
are all coming at us and not let us see or hear what other person is saying. So we have to be careful to work with us first. It starts from us to listen what other person is saying, because half of the time we are not even listening. We are assuming, okay, this because he's saying this, because of this, so we keep on add on. It's
Hmm.
one person says one sentence and our own habitual responses add ons on to this, and then our reaction is a respond to that add ons, not
Hmm.
just the simple person statement what the other person has said.
That's true.
So I think this is what makes a good psychiatrist also. If
Hmm.
you first, be on guard on yourself. Just pay attention what person is saying, or not just keep adding on from your own habitual responses.
Hmm. Excellent. Excellent. So that brings me. I think I will have to bring parenting in this because don't you think that a good listening habit is very important for a parent for
Exactly.
to have a good relation with children?
Exactly. Huge. I think you have a very good
Point.
comment here,
Yeah.
because presence of mind, be present when you are with your child, not that you are preoccupied with something else. It's the presence of mind. If you are present in the moment with your child, and if you can see, if you can feel what the child is going through, is a very important part of parenting.
Hmm. Hmm. And I think, yeah, every parent has to be very good listener. I mean, not all are, but I think if we need to strive for it to become
Yes,
a good listener. That's
it
what I
is
have
a
learned.
struggle.
Yeah.
And also, when it comes to parents, it also depends on the age of the child too.
Yes. Mm.
When we are with the very little children, toddlers, before teenagers, it is good to be, give them guidance, give them, set the values, provide them the values, what are the things important,
Mm.
you
Mm.
know and then be firm with your what you are saying, be consistent. But as
Yes.
they grow old in teenagers, it's good to, go match with their maturity. If they are showing maturity, give them more freedom.
Mm.
So it changes. It's a flexible. I think
Mm.
it's a good rule to be consistent with
Mm.
your pattern when it comes to parenting, but it's also important to be flexible,
Yes.
because and reevaluate. You cannot be too rigid with your
Mm.
rules.
Yes. That's a very important point. To not to be rigid. Doesn't matter what age you become, right?
Yes.
Because usually we say that when you're older or you can't change. I think that is not the way it should be. You should be more flexible also.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Being consistent is important. And it's
Mhm.
also important all the caregivers involved in the life of a child are also on the same page.
Mhm.
There is no division among the caregivers, but
Mhm.
it's also important to be flexible, to listen, to try to. We often see that in teenagers, peers are very important.
Mm.
They really, as they grow old, they like to be their friend. They like to be with their friends.
Mhm.
So what is there? What is why peers are so important? Because they listen to each other, they understand each other.
Mm.
So if parents can come to this level where they begin to understand and begin to see the perspective of the child, they can become a friend too for their teenagers, for growing children.
So now that we are talking about this, so we hear this issue of mental health is so much becoming a major issue in our world today, not only in the US, but all over the world. I'm sure you know more than I would have the statistics about at hand. Uh, what do you think is why is there a reason for that, or like how can we take care of that?
I think many reasons. You
Hmm.
know, um, frustration, stress, triggers, they're all over there.
Hmm.
These things contribute.
Hmm.
And basically, social media also.
Hmm.
We are connected in a bigger sense to each other, but this is disconnecting within the families. There's a big disconnect.
So how do you manage your family? You have children, you have boys. Are do you have a good relation, and how do you manage their social media?
Now they are grown ups, they both are in college.
Okay.
And I think every parent struggle.
Hmm.
There is no easy, clean pathway for anyone.
Okay.
But setting a good understanding that too much of everything is there is limit to everything.
Mm.
You
Yep.
know, it's so overindulgence with things, provided they keep providing them things they want,
Mm.
but not having them a sense of consequence or sense of responsibility.
Right.
That is important. For some time we think like the more is better, but sometimes it's good to keep the concept. This is the value of the thing, how much of it is important, how much of it the something is useful, and if you go over the board it is not helpful. So having this sense into your home, appreciating the value of things, thinking about others, you know
Mm.
it helps.
So, what have you learned over the years from your experience in your field? Something that you like about what you do, and something that has been challenging.
I think just connection with people around me, whether it's my colleagues, my staff in my hospital, my patients, the relatives, just the feeling of connection with humanity, regardless it doesn't matter whether it's anyone, the feeling of connection with any humanity, that's the best thing I like about it.
Okay. And what
And
is challenging? Mm.
challenges. I work in a state system, so state bureaucracy that is challenging. It takes time.
Okay. Okay.
That is a challenging part of
Mm.
my job.
Can't you fix that through psychiatry? The
Mhm.
bureaucracy. No. Okay. Okay. So, your children, how do they perceive you?
I don't know. You have to ask them.
No, but do you get their feedback? Or
Yeah,
do they
I
give
think,
themselves, the
mm,
voluntary feedback ever?
in my sense is that the relationship gets better as they grow out of the teenage years.
Okay.
That is the time of the struggle.
Hmm.
And that is there was a kind of tension I was feeling, I'm sure they were feeling too.
Hmm.
But as they grow out of it, I think we are coming more at the level of being friends
Okay.
with
That's
each
good.
other, because we have to understand the difficult phase the teenagers are going through.
Mm-hmm.
It is not, don't take it as a challenge from them, because if you take it as a challenge, you and them are at the same level. You don't want to respond anger with the anger. That is the time to calm down, to cool down, back off, try to see things from their perspective. If you leave that struggle at that time, then I think eventually you come at the same page, both children and the parents.
Okay. So I will ask you here about people being hesitant to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist. What is the best way for people to think so they don't hesitate? Is there a tip or some kind of suggestion that you can give to people that
I
not
think
to? Yeah.
there
Please.
is a stigma attached to mental illness, and there's a difference between disease and illness. So what is the
Okay.
difference?
Yes, please.
Disease is the perception, what doctors or people see in a person.
Okay.
If a diabetic has a high blood sugar, that is a disease. Everyone is saying a high blood sugar, right?
Yeah.
So what other people see is the disease. What is the perspective of or the perception of a person? That is an illness. So the thing with the mental illness is there are a lot of one person goes through which cannot be seen by the providers or even the people around them. That is why it is hard. One person is depressed or hearing voices or going through severe anxiety, and other around him don't have even a clue what this person is going through. That makes it challenging for people to come out of it and say, I need help. Because they don't have a specific blood pressure criteria to show it. They have to really open up. And opening up is a difficult thing, and there are many barriers. There are many barriers for which they cannot even say why they are feeling, what happened to them. And these scars go back to sometimes to the childhood. And some childhood scars, childhood trauma are the most difficult to treat with. The baggage the person carries with them.
Yeah.
That is the most hard, because if an older person gets some traumatic events, he has strength to build up to deal with it. A child doesn't even know how to deal with that. So the coping mechanism, the coping skills everyone develops, they are not even developed in a child. So he doesn't know what to do with those things. And then eventually they are not registered in his memory as a clear-cut, events. They get mixed up. Some are in conscious level, some in subconscious level. People know they don't like something, but they have no clue why they don't like something.
Yes. That is very important. Yep. So, how can we take care an average person? How can an average person take care of his or her emotional, mental health? Any suggestions that we should try to be watchful of?
I think suggestions for everyone, whether someone has mental problems or anyone, are really basics.
Okay.
If we all follow just certain basic things, that is good for health. For example, sleep is huge.
Yes.
Having a good night's sleep.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's very important, especially nowadays. Yeah.
You can fix so many things just having a good night's sleep.
Right.
And not having a good night's sleep has so many implications we don't even realize, because I'm so much irritable in the morning. I'm feeling anxious. My functioning, I'm not focusing well. It's all related to not having a good night's sleep.
Okay.
So really fixing just a sleep can solve so many problems. Then
What else? Yeah.
Healthy diet,
Yes.
making sure you have all the nutrients in your diet, because they form the vitamins, vitamin D, C, essential element, magnesium, zinc. You were talking about spices.
Right.
Our spices has all these. So
Yes.
if you're really mindfully eating, you can replace your medication with healthy, simple diet.
Yep.
Then next come to exercise. Regular exercise releases neurotransmitter in our brain and in the body. Like, it reduces the cortisol, which is a stress hormone. It increases endocannabinoids, endorphins, which are like people take from outside to abuse them. But
Yes,
only if you regularly exercise,
it will.
the hormones, your neurotransmitter come into play, and they reduce stress, increase enhanced sleep, reduce anxiety. So just simple,
Yeah, that's
simple
true.
things.
So,
Be
four things you said: sleep,
Hmm.
good diet, exercise, and what else?
Mindfulness, meditation.
For meditation. And how would you suggest for a simple? So, you will do that a little bit later, or should we do it now?
Yes.
I think
I
we can do it later at the end.
I have 3 minute
Okay,
meditation.
3 minute meditation at the end after we are done with our conversation. And I have a few more questions to ask her. And thank you so
I just
much.
want to mention
Yes, please.
telomeres. In our DNA of our cells, the ends of all DNA is covered by a protective sheath of proteins.
Hmm.
It's like the plastic tips of shoelaces.
Hmm.
Their purpose is to prevent the cell from fraying out or wearing down. And there are certain things we can do to keep these plastic tips or telomeres strong.
Okay.
And if they are strong, then their organs are healthy. They help us to live longer, younger, and it's simple diet, exercise, good sleep, and meditation. They have proven with the scientific studies,
Yes.
all those things help to keep telomeres strong, which in turn help us to live uh, longer, younger, and healthier.
That's very good. That's very important. That's why
For
you look
example,
healthy.
I just want to give you an example. 1 can of soda, 20 ounces of soda,
Hmm.
if we drink daily, can add to 4 years to our biological life. And 8 ounces can add to 2 years to our life. And it's same like smoking cigarettes. So and if
Add or it takes away, you mean?
it adds to our life, the cells become older.
Oh, okay, okay. From that angle. Okay. So if you, what you said about the soda, if you adds to the aging, you mean it
Mhm.
adds to your.
So if your biological, if a child 5 to 6 year old is drinking 20 milligram of soda daily,
Mhm.
is not biological. It's not 4 years. It can become 8 year old.
Wow, that's how it affects. That's why, yeah. Okay. So diet is a major thing, actually. So all
Diet,
these four important things: meditation, diet, exercise, sleep is very important.
and
Very
it's
good.
important for everyone, regardless if you're
So
healthy.
what about I would like to add mindset. How what about being negative and being not so happy about things? Wouldn't that add or subtract your age and your health? I'm
Hmm.
sure you know about that.
Yeah, I think mindfulness is like encompasses all
Okay.
positivity, being resilience, being attuned to yourself. All these good things, they come under mindfulness.
Yeah.
Because if you are leading an open life and being aware, being attuned to yourself and to others,
Mhm.
then it creates a kind of awareness that brings it in compassion, empathy for others. And then when you are a compassionate and empathic person, then you are positive. Then it takes away the negativity. Then you know how to bounce back, even if there are stressor, there are losses, which inevitably comes to the life of everyone. And this
Yeah.
is something also to introduce into the life of children also.
Mm.
How to self-regulate. It's not going to be just give them and not letting them feel like how to wait for something,
Right.
how to, and also they give this message, only the effort is important, outcome is not, because we have no control over outcome.
Yes. That's very good. Thank you. And you are welcome to use conscious because that's my podcast, Conscious Living. So, what is to be a conscious person or a parent? Would you like to define that in your ways?
I think being aware of what's going on,
Hmm.
being attuned to the person,
To yourself or to others?
both.
Okay.
Because being aware helps both ways, intrapersonal and interpersonal.
Mm.
Intrapersonal, you understand, you connect with your true being,
Mm.
because mostly we interact with other people with our identities, like I am a doctor, I'm a mother, i I do
Yes.
this. So I am not truly connected with my true being, which is beneath these all these identity is the true being. And it is good to be connect to our true intentions. Unless we don't know ourselves, we really cannot be honest with ourselves and to other people. So attunement to ourselves, and then take the same honest approach to other people.
Excellent. So, may I ask then, who is the true Dr. Shazia Nuzhat,
Yeah,
other than the doctor?
I
If you
think
can share, if you want to.
no.
Yeah.
I think if I say, I will be like uh, someone who really likes love people around and wants to help people around.
That
Yeah.
is inside you.
Yes.
That's a true. That's why you chose this profession. Otherwise, this is the person you could have been anything but doing, helping people and conversing and liking people. Do you not like anybody?
No,
Everybody.
I
You
think
like
I know
everybody?
myself if I begin to dislike someone. But the thing is, even these things,
What did you say? Can you repeat that? That's very important what you said. If you.
if I dislike someone, then I question myself, like, what is
Okay.
going on here?
Okay.
You
Okay.
know?
That's very good. That's good.
That is
So,
very important.
so when you question, then what is the answer and how do you go over it? Because this is very important. Very many people, we are in our days, we don't like, we like. So maybe this is a good tip from you that we can learn. Like, how do you question yourself? Like, why am I not liking this person? And then what is the answer from it? Is it the same answer every time or different?
No, the answer is different,
Mm,
and sometimes the answer can be hard. That's why most of the people don't pay attention to it,
mm,
because answer can challenge you.
mm.
But the point is to recognize it, acknowledge it, and then let it go. If I see, there is some jealousy there, right? There is some envy. I am just covering it up with my, oh, I don't hate this person. I cannot take him anymore. But maybe underlying there's some envy. Maybe underlying say some jealousy. Or maybe there's few things that I need to work on me, not the other person.
Very
That is why
important. Mm,
mindfulness is a relational quality. It depends what's going on around us, but it's also depend how we are relating to it. We can change our response, and we can just be with the moment and acknowledge and let it go, not and then don't beat us up even if there is some envy,
oh,
because these are human emotions.
right, right.
The
Work
point
on
is,
it. Basically, you're saying work on it. Find what is the issue with you rather than going to the other person.
yes, and finding an issue is better, because some people are not even aware they are
Yes.
going through all these emotion, but because of lack of awareness, if you can do something, if you are aware of it, but even if you are not even aware of it, you cannot get to the bottom of things.
It's true. That's very good. So, have you been able to inculcate or put this thought process of finding yourself into your children? Are they more aware of themselves at this age?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is very important to raise empathic children.
So, how did you do that? Like, how do you do that as a parent, as a doctor? How can you do that? It's very
I think
difficult.
bringing on this idea early on to their life, how to think of others, how the other person is feeling. This is a hard concept, but children can learn empathy as early as 5 to 6 year old. It is not so difficult. You
Mm.
know, if they hit someone, then letting them know this is how the other person is feeling. This
Mm.
is not right. Do you
Yes.
understand? You
Yes.
know, and this is
Mm.
very important not to just think. We are raising self-centered, overindulgent children right now. It was opposite maybe in 50s, 60s, or 70s, and we are going in the opposite ways, overindulging them, giving them too much, and they lose the capacity to self-regulate. How to have some emotion, pause, and then modulate.
Yes.
You heard people, if they don't find nuggets in McDonald's and they were calling 911. This is how they lose self-regulation. They cannot understand how to regulate their process. You can calm down. You can, and everyone needs to have some set of coping skills. My
Yes.
go-to things when I'm not 100% all the time.
Yeah.
But if I have some baggage with me, what I need to do if I'm not, just go for a walk outside, be with the nature, has a capacity to calm us down.
Thank you for watching part 1 with Dr. Shazia Nuzhat. Please stay tuned for part 2 next week. And do visit my website, lightupvichwa.com, and leave a comment or two and let me know what you think of this episode or the whole podcast or any other episode. If you have any questions, please you can leave them also on the website or the platform you're watching. And don't forget to sign up for my upcoming launches and the updates from LUWS Academy LLC. Take care.